get my screen share pulled up here and switched over. Um, Welcome to our student teaching recognition ceremony for all of our wonderful student teachers in the Languages and Literatures department. We're so glad that you all could join us and celebrate with us. I know many of you are probably excited about graduation tomorrow and getting to walk across the stage. I saw many of your names in the program when we were at the rundown for faculty this morning. All right, so we will begin with our English teaching majors. We just have a few of those today. So just to kind of give you a quick rundown, I'll kind of give you a quick bio of the student, and then we'll have some faculty share some words about that student in particular. All right, so our first English teaching major here is Jess Joyful. She actually is a double major. She did English and TESOL. And so her next steps are to do long-term subbings at various schools, and she's looking for a middle or high school ELL position for next school year. And she says that her teaching goal is that students will leave her class as masters of self-efficacy, research, and learning. And they will be critical of any and all sources of knowledge and strive to be self-sufficient individuals. And I think what a great philosophy to have. And so you can see we have some very nice words here from faculty to share, but Hilal, if you would mind sharing some nice words here about Jess.
Yeah, I'm happy to. So Jess was my student, I think my first semester here that I started. And, you know, she was successful, she was wonderful. But then she became the president of the TESOL club, for which I'm the faculty advisor. And she just did wonders. She had such great work ethic. She had such creative ideas. As you can see my quote on the screen, she did help organize this really wonderful TESOL conference that we had. And she also helped start a book club that's separate from the TESOL club. So she has accomplished great things here, and I'm sure she will wherever she goes.
Yes, great. Thank you. And congratulations to Jess. All right, next we have Lauren Singafest, and she is both an English teaching major and a minor in psychology. And so she has some beliefs there about her teaching philosophy, and that, you know, she understands that students come from a unique set of perspectives, and, you know, she's willing to meet the needs in the classroom for those unique sets of perspectives and intelligences. And she's seeking out a secondary English position, and looks like she might have some grad school plans. She has an intent to further her education in the future. So that's really exciting. So I had the privilege of teaching Lauren when we were, you know, doing hybrid instruction, and she was online instruction and decided to attend class on Zoom. And I just remember that she was always fully engaged in class and always brought some really great ideas to the class. And, you know, I think that she really helped support all of her classmates in the teaching of writing as she shared her wonderful ideas in that class. And I have no doubt that as she continues in her future, she will continue to enact her philosophy and being willing to meet students where they are. Next, we have Emma Davis. She also is English teaching and TESOL. And she did some student teaching here locally and is going to do some substitute teaching here locally for her next steps. And is looking for a position in the Des Moines area for the fall. So good luck to her on that. And then Sheila, if you would mind saying some things about Emma.
I would love to. So Emma, again, yeah, it was hybrid format when she took my class, and she and Jess Joyful just kind of were always sitting right next to each other, and always, it was like they came in at the same time. They were like kind of two halves of the same person. It was kind of fun. She designed a unit about one of my favorite young adult books, The Astonishing Color of After, and did multi-genre projects worked into it, and just is headed for great things. And so Congratulations, Emma.
Yes, congratulations. All right, next we have Kenzie Ramer, and she did her student teaching in Des Moines, which is her hometown area, and she was an English teaching major with a TESOL minor. And so she's looking to do some student teaching in Des Moines in the future, and I imagine she's probably also on the job market and in search of a position for the fall as well. And she gets to move into a new home in December, so that's really exciting. I guess she's already in that new home, considering it's after the December 15th. And yes, Kenzie, I also had in the same class that I had Lauren, and again, I think that she was another student who really engaged with the process. We had this opportunity to partner with some local high school students to give them some feedback on their writing. And I know that Kenzie was really engaged in the process and really able to think critically about how this might be applicable to her future. And so because of that, I know that she's going to be a great teacher and she's going to have a great future. So congratulations to you, Kenzie. I know you're out to do big and great things. Next we have Kaylee Schmidt. She is an Iowa native and she's an English teaching major with a comm theater teaching minor. So I imagine she's probably going to do some speech coaching or some drama play directing there. And she also did her student teaching here locally. And she also worked with the Upward Bound, and she's looking to substitute for a while she's in search of permanent positions. And she has her teaching philosophy there for us, which I think is great to encourage students to try, fail, and try again, because what better way to learn? Yes, and then Sheila, if you would say some things about Kaylee.
Okay, so my favorite moment about Kaylee was last spring when she just kind of casually let out that I'm going to be missing class. And the reason she was missing class is because she qualified for nationals in speech and like made it, I think, to like octafinals, or like she made it past the preliminary rounds at nationals and was just kind of really casual about it in the middle of also finishing all of her classes and the craziness of hybrid everything. Kaylee's great and is it is hard to do the comm theater and the English, and there's a lot of juggling of schedules, and she did it all really well. So yay, go speech.
Yeah, congratulations, Kaylee. All right, next we have Samantha Niles. And so Samantha had a really unique student teaching experience where she got to go to Coronado High School in Colorado Springs to do her student teaching, which I think is really exciting. And so she is looking to get a teaching position locally, so in Waverly, which I believe is her hometown. So that'll be wonderful. And she believes that every student has a story, and she just wants to coach them to help them share that story with the world. And I know just Sam has been such a great, powerful voice in the classroom. And I know she's done a lot of work with students in various levels. And, you know, like Dr. Lachlan says here that she has such great energy and enthusiasm. You know, I believe on her previous side, it said she's looking for some overseas positions as well. So I think if she plans to travel the world, you know, she's going to make all of us jealous. And I think she should definitely report back. All right, next we have Shannon, and Shannon is English teaching major who has a minor in special education and literacy education, and she also got her reading endorsement. That's going to make her really marketable. And so she did her student teaching here locally at West High School and Central Middle School, and actually has a job starting in January. So it looks like she'll be staying local and teaching at East High School, English and special education. And she has future goals to be a principal. So I see some education grad school in her future. And then Sheila, if you could say some things about Shannon.
Yeah, so Shannon, and I hope the whole car, she's driving from Minnesota right now. I hope the whole car is cheering right now, because you should be, because this has been a long long, complicated journey because Shannon's got the instructional strategist minor as well as English. And that's like 3 more field experiences. I actually had Shannon in class in spring of 2020, the semester that the world went berserk. And all of a sudden, so she was part of that group that all of a sudden just got yanked off of campus and finished out the semester really strong and has a job, which is amazing. And yeah, super proud of you, Shannon. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Shannon. And Shannon wraps up our English teaching majors. And so we will now be moving on to our TESOL and TESOL Spanish student teachers. So our lucky number 1 is Mariah Wilder. And she is a local girl, hometown Iowa, right here in Waterloo. So she has a secondary history education and TESOL education majors, as well as an interdisciplinary French studies. So again, she looks really marketable here. Looks like she's got a diverse portfolio here. She's looking to be a TESOL education or history education as her for a job. And so as she's sort of on the job market, she plans to do some subbing for the Waterloo School District. And then she plans to go back to get some more endorsements, get her master's degree, and continue with her study of the French language. So it looks like Mariah loves to learn. So I imagine she's going to be in school for quite a while after this, but that's great for her. All right. And so Caroline, do you mind saying some things about Mariah?
Yeah, I had the pleasure of being Mariah's advisor, and she was always learning languages. So she didn't just study French, she also studied a little bit of Spanish, and she also studied Chinese. So she really was always interested in learning more languages. And Mariah was somebody who really impressed me with her ability to stay enthusiastic despite any kind of obstacles that came her way. And she really was dedicated to becoming a teacher and stuck to that. And she's made it, and has done so many things that I don't think she would have planned to have done starting out. But I think that she really broadened her interests as she was in school, and it's just been amazing to see that. So congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Thank you. All right, next we have Lady Egan, and she is a TESOL teaching major. So she did some elementary and high school student teaching placements. And she also has a job. So she'd be at St. Joseph Community School in New Hampton beginning in January 2021. And she also plans to attend the overseas fair, which makes me think she might have some overseas teaching aspirations, which is really exciting. And then Jenny, would you mind saying some things about Lady?
Hola, Lady. Muchas felicidades en todo lo que has podido hacer. And I guess one thing that I would like to share with everybody about Lady is that she had such an incredible attitude toward learning and work ethic. She not only worked hard and participated in class, she was also always in the classroom before my class and after my class, and continued to work because she would have back-to-back classes sometimes with Spanish and TESOL. So she really knows how to buckle down and get things accomplished. And I think that she'll have a very bright future. And I hope that we'll be able to keep in touch.
Wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations, Lady. All right. And now we have Alisa Seifer. She is also a TESOL teaching major with a Spanish teaching minor and a literacy education minor for her reading endorsement. She did a high school and elementary school student teaching placement. And she will substitute teach in Des Moines for the remainder of the school year while she looks for a position in the Dubuque area. So good luck to her on the job market. Yeah, and Caroline, if you would mind saying some things about Alisa.
Yeah, so I remember, I think she took Structure of English in fall of 2018, and we had a very active class that semester, and everybody had lots of discussions and opinions, which was amazing. And Alexa was always somebody who was very analytical and contributed a lot of interesting discussion points. So I really enjoyed her vitality and her contributions in that class. And then she always seemed to me to want to be that role model for other people, and really stuck to her guns on taking on doing Spanish teaching, as well as literacy, as well as the TESOL teaching major, even when scheduling and things like that were complicated. So really enjoy her spirit.
Yes, great. Thank you. And congratulations, Alexa. All right, next we have Carlos Black. His hometown is right here in Cedar Falls. He also did TESOL and Spanish education. He did 2 student teaching placements, but his seemed a little bit different. He got to go to Texas to do one of them. How exciting is that? And his next steps, he's got a job in Champaign, Illinois in 2022. So I'm sure he's on to great things in Illinois. And Hilal, if you could say some things about Carlos.
Carlos, congratulations on degree number 2, right? Yeah. So I think I've had Carlos in 2 or more classes, and I will just always remember how hard he works, how good of a work he does, and his contributions to discussions. He's a critical thinker. He's well-traveled. I think he has so much to offer his future students. And I think as an indication of what kind of student he is, I think I'm using one of his lesson plans from one of my classes as an example for other people in my classes now. So, I mean, Carlos, you'll do great. You'll do great. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Carlos. All right, and now we have Kerrigan Menser, and so she did TESOL, Spanish, and French. So she's another one that likes the languages, and she was involved with the honors program and the TESOL club. Had a couple of placements working with ELL and then some Spanish. And she also has a job. I love seeing how many of you have jobs already. This is so wonderful. Doing some ELL teaching at Hamilton School District in Jewel, Iowa. So congratulations on the job and good luck in your future. Hilal, could you please say some things about Kerrigan?
Kerrigan, you're awesome. So I had Kerrigan in my sociolinguistics class, which was decidedly not so much a teaching class, but a research class. And she did such a great job coming up with a great research question, collecting her data, analyzing it. So looking at her future plans, I see it's a lot of teaching, but I say, Kerrigan, yes, go teach, but then come back for a graduate degree. Because you can do it. You're just right for it. And whatever path you choose, I know you'll excel in it.
Oh, thank you, Hilal, and congratulations, Kerrigan. All right, next we have Kate Robles, who is a TESOL major with a Spanish teaching certificate and has achieved a liberal arts degree as well. And so she had some placements in Perry, Iowa, and Des Moines, Iowa, and will be substituting in the spring while she applies for some ELL jobs in the Des Moines area. So good luck to you while you are on the job market, Kate. And Caroline, if you could say some things about Kate.
So Kate is a real light. She's a wonderfully warm person, and that she always, when she came to class, she always brought her positivity. She was very conscientious, and when we worked with the YWCA, she was somebody who really blossomed in that role as language partner for students in the YWCA English class, and really became kind of a go-to for some of the students there who wanted to have somebody to be able to work through conversation with or ask questions of. So it was really great to see her shine in that. And she's been really, conscientious, but also really, she's continued with her interests and been able to overcome things with her positive attitude. So I really admire what she's accomplished.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Kate. All right. Next, we have Tessa Frederick, and she is a TESOL Spanish major with a translation minor. So that could open her up to some interesting jobs there. She also has some plans to Spanish substitute for Ballard High School in January. Looks like that's probably some sort of long-term subbing position. And she's going to apply for some out-of-state dual language schools. So that'll be fun, and good luck to you as you search for your job. Alisa, if you could say some things about Tessa.
Yeah, similar to Hilal's comment about Jess, Tessa was my student my very, I think my first or second semester. So she's part of that group that really stands out in my mind. That was just so enjoyable to work with. And I appreciate, and what I think sets Tessa apart is her quiet thoughtfulness that is just, she's just waiting for the right moment to share some real incredible insight or some good ideas, or to support someone. So in a field like teaching, where a lot of folks can tend to be extroverted and really loud, I think that Tessa brings a really nice presence to her teaching, and is going to be a real asset to whatever school community she works in.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. And congratulations, Tessa. So we have Lucia Hernandez, and she is a TESOL and Spanish teaching minors with an elementary education major. So it looks like she wants to work with the little ones, which is great. I think they're fun to work with. And she did some high school and elementary school student teaching experiences, and hopes to teach here in Waterloo, but will sub until she can find the right position for her. So we have a video. Maybe we have a video from a faculty here for you. Oh, I might need to update my share settings. I apologize.
Felicidades, Lucia. It was such a pleasure to get to know you at UNI. Congratulations on finishing your student teaching. I know that you will do great things in the future with your students, whether they're studying Spanish or English or elementary ed students. Enhorabuena y buena suerte.
And then you see we have some other words here from faculty, and thank you to Dr. Dubord for sharing or being willing to record a video for Lucia. All right, next up we have Sarah Allen, and she is a TESOL teaching major, and she also has a couple of other degrees from Iowa State, so it looks like she likes to learn as well. Was doing some involved with dance marathon and TESOL club. Did some local placements here for her student teaching, and is looking to do some elementary ELL teaching. In her future, she also wants to get her reading endorsement. It's clear that she loves learning. She's already got a few degrees. Now she thinking about graduate school. And she just loves to learn languages and continue to grow for her students. And so Hilal, could you say some things for us about Sarah?
Sarah, are you allowed to get any more degrees? I don't know.
Mom's on here. She might say no. So I don't know.
um, I mean, it was just a pleasure to have you in classes. And you know, as a teacher, I'm sure you have already experienced this as a teacher when you get papers, you know, homework assignments, and you take a first glance at it. And you kind of get the feeling of which ones will be really good just from the way they're done. And the just the organization, the wording, etc. So you're one of those students, and you're just such a good student, and you're a great teacher. I remember your lesson plans also, and I'm like, she's gonna do great things. I mean, but okay, so great teacher, great researcher, yay. But when I think about you, the thing that stands out most to me is how one semester, every week to class, you showed up wearing a different costume because you were trying to raise awareness and money for a group of people, right? And that just goes to show what kind of person you are. And I just appreciate that about you. So congratulations, and I hope you come back to us for your master's.
Yes, I also had Sarah during the semester of the different costumes, and I loved waiting to see what costume she was going to come in. It was so exciting to wait and see. Congratulations, Sarah, and good luck to you. Next, we have Stephanie Whitstock, who is a childhood education major, early childhood education major, as well as a TESOL minor. So the little kiddos, it seems like, and she did several student teaching placements. She'll be subbing in the spring while she looks for an elementary or an ELL job in the Des Moines area. And so Stephanie, it's so great to know that you made it through your student teaching. That's such an accomplishment, and we wish you the best of luck as you go on the job market, and we really hope that you will achieve everything that you have set forth to achieve. And now we have Alisa Calderon, and she is an elementary education major and a TESOL minor. And so she is going to do high school ESL teaching at Muscatine High School. So it looks like she's always got also has a job. So again, wonderful. And so now, Eliza, if you could say some things for us about Alisa.
Yeah. So Alisa was part of the fall 2020 class that for approaches to language teaching and learning, that we met in a massive lecture hall in the science building. And Alisa, I remember, was physically very, very far from me, and was, also, a little bit more quiet. But I remember the things that she shared and the things that she wrote about related to language teaching were always really connected to both the experiences that she had observed in schools during her placements, but also, and the really cool thing is it's really connected to the work that her mom does. So a lot of what she would reflect on and share her experiences about was related to the ways that she had seen her mom doing work in public schools with emergent bilingual students and supporting immigrant communities. And so I could see the way that really shaped Alisa's understanding of teaching and the work she wanted to do. So I'm also always really extra excited for Alisa and then other elementary ed folks who are able to pull off having the TESOL minor with their degree. I think it's always great having you in classes. So good job, Alisa.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations, Alisa. All right, now we have Georgia Kasher, and she is a TESOL endorsement on her elementary education major. So again, another one of those wonderful elementary education people to join the TESOL group. And so she's going to do some long-term substitute teaching in various capacities in the spring. And then she plans to get her master's and become a field experience student teaching coordinator. So it looks like she's interested in maybe looking at the teacher education side of things and helping prepare future teachers, which I think is a great next step. And then Caroline, if you could say some things for us about Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia was in a pre-pandemic instance of structure of English. And again, we had wonderful class discussions. And she was always someone who really thought about the students who she might one day be teaching in her elementary ed future. She was always thinking about the larger context that they were coming from, and really interested in being an advocate for her students, being someone who was a resource for them, being very passionate about finding them the resources they needed. So she was a really great force, and I'm glad to see that she's interested in pursuing her education even further, because I think she'll be a great leader.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. And congratulations, Georgia. All right, next we have JC Hague, and she is an elementary education major with a TESOL minor. And so she did some Title I reading and some language in her student teaching placement. So she also plans to substitute teach for the remainder of the school year while she looks for an elementary or ELL teaching job in a different state. So good luck to you in your job search. And Josh, if you could say some things for us about JC.
Congratulations, JC. Congratulations on this important step. One thing, JC was my student in a couple of classes in Intro to Linguistics and in Principles and Practices of Language Teaching. One thing that I do remember about her was her seriousness in her approach to learning different things, from the very nitty-gritty details in Intro to Linguistics to different theories and principles in our principles class, and then coming up with very interesting points and discussions, and then connecting the theory to practice. And so those things just tell me that she's off to become a great teacher. So congratulations, JC. It's time to enjoy your accomplishments, and you're off to become a great teacher, and I'm pretty sure that you'll do great.
That's great. Thank you. And congratulations again, JC. All right, now we have Emma Judge. She is an elementary education major with a TESOL minor, and she will also be substitute teaching either in Clinton or Bettendorf, Iowa, while she searches for an elementary or ESL teaching job in the area. So it looks like she wants to stay close to her hometown, which is really great. So good luck to you as you search for jobs. And Alisa, if you could say some things about Emma for us.
Emma was part of the same science lecture hall crowd. And Emma, and I won't take this personally, definitely sat as far away from me as she possibly could. That's okay. And so, there are so many times when it's really hard to read or to know and understand how a student is engaging in those kinds of settings. I'm like, okay, do they like this? Do they not like this? Questions, whatever. And what I remember most about Emma was her total honesty and open-mindedness and willingness to say oh, yeah, I hadn't really thought about something that way before, or this is a really new idea for me because of XYZ. And I always appreciated the way that she did that. And that's always, I think, a nice way to see how somebody is engaging in class. And again, she's also one of the elementary ed folks, and I'm really excited for the work that she's going to do.
I just have to say, I really don't miss the giant science lecture hall days of teaching. I was not cut out to teach in those lecture halls, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, so Emma wraps up our TESOL teaching and TESOL Spanish student teachers. So congratulations to you all. All right, so now we'll be moving on to our Spanish teaching majors. We just have a few more here. We're going to wrap up with our languages teachers. So now we have Cody Bozel, and he is a Spanish teaching major with a minor in translation. And so he did some middle school and high school student teaching placements. And looks like we get to see him back again here at UNI in the spring because he's going to be back to join us for graduate school. So I'm sure that, you know, the faculty, you know, will be more than happy to see you back and welcome you back. And he will continue to tutor and translate in his free time. So Jenny, if you wouldn't mind saying some things for us about Cody.
Wow, Cody, I can't believe that you've made it and that you're coming back for more. It's great. You're really cut out for this because you're brilliant. You're an extremely hard worker. You always have a positive attitude. And I might add, I am aware that Cody is an extremely good driver and he's not afraid to drive fast. So these are all good qualities. You're going to be a great, great student coming back to see us in the spring and also a great teacher when you finally finish your course of studies. So muchas felicidades y nos vemos pronto.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And congratulations, Cody. All right. And Cody was our only Spanish teaching student teacher. So now we'll move right on to our French teaching. And so we have Katrina Rayerson, and she was an elementary major with a minor in math and TESOL and French. You don't very often see a lot of language people tack on the math as their minors. So wait, that's ambitious, and congratulations with that. And she hopes to teach in the French dual immersion program at Lou Henry Elementary School here locally. And so Elizabeth, if you could say some things about Katrina for us.
Certainly. It has been a pleasure to work with Katrina. I met her when she was in elementary school at Price Laboratory School right on the UNI campus when I was a secondary French teacher. I've known many members of her family. And now when she becomes a teacher, she will teach elementary. She's got a middle school French teacher sister and a high school French teacher sister. And she will be fill in the blanks and be the elementary teacher, maybe an elementary French teacher. So that is quite exciting. Félicitations, Katrina, je suis très fière de toi. Ça m'a fait grand plaisir de travailler avec toi.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And congratulations, Katrina. And Katrina wraps us up, and congratulations to you all. And, you know, what an accomplishment it was to make it through your student teaching, and best of luck to all of you as you search for jobs, start your new jobs, go into your substitute positions. We know that you're off to do great things. And thank you for joining us.